Hi, I'm Alexandra, founder of the Small Business Academy and author of The Princeton Principle and Choosing Your Destiny. Welcome back to part 3 of 3 of the 26 Principles of Business Success You Can't Afford to Overlook. Now, I promised you in the last video that we were going to talk about the holy grail of business success, the golden secret. And here we go. 80% of your sales come from 20% of your customers. And so that means that you have a core group of customers that are your basis of your foundation of your business. You need to keep them happy and keep them coming back. And I'm going to give you some tips and some instructions on exactly how to do that and how to build that customer base so that and some things to do to keep your customers happy and buying and telling their friends about your business. So one of the key first steps is to focus on building long-term relationships with all of your customers. The repeat customers are considered the holy grail of sales. They advertise for you. They give personal recommendations to their friends. They can help you forecast your potential buying trends on the long term. They save you marketing money, and we all know how expensive marketing can be. But most importantly, they buy your products and your services. So your repeat customers, they actually are very cost effective. In other words, they will spread word of mouth, which carries so much more impact than a marketing campaign do. We know that marketing, print media, if you do advertising on radio, it's very, very expensive. Even online advertising, if you do pay-per-clicks, that can add up to some serious money. You get free advertising with your repeat customers, so it's very important that you keep them happy. What these repeat customers do, they're like walking billboards. They give their personal recommendations, and it carries so much weight. Just think for a moment, like if you were doing some work on your house and you got a personal recommendation from someone that you knew for a contractor who they felt had done an exceptional job and they were really happy with them. Wouldn't you be wanting to pick up the phone and call them as opposed to someone that you looked up in the phone book or online? It carries a much greater weight. And so, how do you get customers like that? Well, to build repeat customers, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent in the way that you treat all of your customers every day. You have to be consistent in the quality of the product that you carry every day. And you have to make sure that you're well stocked in all of your best products every day. Consistency, dependability is the key to keeping people coming back time after time after time, because they know they're going to be treated in a good way, in a positive way. They're going to buy quality products and they're going to be available all the time. The other thing is you need to hire good people. If you've got employees, you need to make sure that you've got the kind of person that is a representation of you. They are as enthusiastic about your product and service as you are. They treat the customers that they deal with on a day-to-day basis the same way that you do. They establish long-term relationships with their customers where it's a personable friendship, not just someone that they're picking up some money from a sale. So how do you establish those kinds of relationships? The way to do it is to keep it personal. When you have someone who comes in the second, the third time, you need to try to make a real effort to remember them, remember something about them, something about their last purchase, remember their name. Something so basic carries such a huge impact. If you walk into a place of business and the owner greets you and calls you by name and asks how you're doing today and what you're looking for today and how's so-and-so, doesn't that mean something to you? The other thing is to stay in contact. So if you haven't seen one of your favorite customers for a while, drop them a note. If you have a customer who's made an exceptional purchase or has been with you just for a long, long time, write them a handwritten note with a little coupon or a discount for their next purchase. In the world of all things digital, having a handwritten note sent to you by regular mail is just such a touching effect. They know that you really care about them, that you've taken that extra time and effort to do something like this that's so personal. Now, if you've got people coming in, you've got great products, you're being really nice, but you're not closing the sales and you're not showing a good profit margin, chances are you don't know how to sell. And so you need to get with a sales professional. You need to go to the store and buy books on selling. You need to learn some selling techniques. And I'm going to give you a few things here that you can use right now that will get you started. But make that extra effort to really learn the art of selling. Now, one of the basic ways is to have 3 unique selling points. And what that means is it's 3 benefits to your product or service that will meet the need of your client in a way that is different from others in your industry. And I use others in your industry specifically rather than competitors for a very special reason, and I'll go into that in just a minute. But you need to look at how you can meet your customer client's need and fulfill that opportunity to serve them in a way that's different from others in your industry. The other thing is selling doesn't just go on in the store. It goes on outside the store, and it does that by telling people that you run into on a day-to-day basis what you do, what you offer, what service, what product you have available, what campaign you're running. And you can do this in just a simplest of ways. I was notorious for striking up conversations in the grocery line as I was waiting to check out, and when asked, offering my business card to anyone who asked for it. The other thing that you can do, and I think this is a lot of fun actually, is get everybody together and participate in a community event. Get your partners, get your employees if you have them, and participate in a festival, in a holiday event, and get your business and your brand out there. Make it fun. Engage with your people that are waiting in line to get your product or service. Do something fun. If you don't have something that you can market at the event, participate in the event and get together a group band or do something silly and make it fun. The other thing that I think is really key, and this is using the internet to your best advantage, is to create an opportunity with the tools that we show here to offer an opportunity for your customers to comment back to you as far as what you have to offer. And be prepared that it might not all be positive, but that's really important. That gives you opportunity to improve, to offer additional products and services, to develop new products and services beyond what you already carry. The other thing that you do in evangelizing, not only you talk to people that you meet, but your employees should be able to communicate to those that they meet on a day-to-day basis outside of the store. And that means that you need to have a very concise message that they can give when someone asks them where they work or what they do, it's a branded message that they can give to people that they meet on a day-to-day basis that identifies your company, your service, your products. Now, I mentioned that I'm not a big fan of competition, and the reason for that is that you need to focus on creating, not on competing for the same market share or the same product that's out there. You need to work on creating a product or service that is of greater use value to your customer than the monetary price that they've paid for it. If you put your focus and your energy into that, you will be very, very successful, because you are purposefully intending to increase and better your customer. And of course they're going to come back for that. Now, this just has to do with good business management, and that is you don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today. I heard this from my grandmother, and she told it to my father, who told it to me. You need to not waste time and potential income doing back office work that's been stacking up when you really could be out front. So that means get in the morning, get it done, and get out and start servicing your customer. Don't put it off and let it stack up. This principle of success is really focused towards the new business owner. You have big dreams, big goals, and you're ready to jump in and start your own company, and that is wonderful, and you're on the right track. But you need to start small. Now, I use Bill Gates as an example because he happens to live in my area. But when he and his partner Paul Allen started Microsoft, they actually started in Bill's parents' garage. It was very small, and that's how many successful businesses are started. But they scale up. So if you're expecting to scale up in the next 18 months to 2 to 3 years, and you have a good business plan and a way to do that, don't lock yourself into long-term property leases or long-term equipment leases when 18 months or 2 years from now it's not going to serve you. Keep things as loose as possible. Keep yourself out of financial obligations that are long-term if they're not going to be able to work for you in the long term. Now, just getting into business is a calculated risk, but as you grow your business, you're going to need to continue to take calculated risks. And part of that is making sure that the risks that you're taking are based on solid information. In other words, you know what you're getting into. You've estimated the positive maximum impact if things go well and the minimum effect if they don't. If you find that it's a 50-50, I would walk away. You want to make sure that you're protecting your business of what you've worked so hard to build so far. Now, as you're developing your business and growing your business and developing new products, you're going to want to test them, or new services too. You're going to want to test them. You're going to have, what the software industry call a beta period, and you want to get as much feedback as you're developing that product or service as you can. You don't want to use just friends and family or people that you work with. You want to get as large amount of input on this and as diversified of input as you possibly can from your customer base, preferably. Now, if you're in growing your business and wanting to expand and you think you can do a better version of a product that's already out there, I would encourage you to try it. Now, I'm going to use a very well-known example, and that is the Wii. When the Wii first came out, it revolutionized the gaming industry. But there was a problem that emerged very quickly, and that was as people were participating in some of the more active games, they were losing the controllers. They were flying off their hands and across the room and being damaged. So Microsoft took that technology and created the Kinects, which virtually eliminated the need for the controller. So go for it. As you're developing your ideas, you need to be tough on it. If you get this brainy idea and you're all excited about it, it's hard to be your own devil's advocate, but you really need to. You need to find the flaws, the potential problems with your product or service long before your customer does, and long before you actually take it to the beta period or the testing period. You need to run analysis on it. You need to do product testing, of course, but do that before you get out there. One of the things that actually, and I try to be really positive about everything that I bring to you, but this is actually a major don't. You open up your business, you think you've got a good location, and like this gentleman in the picture here, looks like he's on the corner, he's got plenty of traffic going by, but you'll notice he has no customers. So if you are depending that and assuming that you're going to be making a certain amount of money every single month, but in fact you come in far short of that, it could actually dissolve your business. You need to know exactly what kind of money you're going to be bringing in. Now, you have worked hard and things are going well, and then you get this really cranky client or a really rude client that comes into your place of business. You have to continue to be polite, conduct business as quickly as possible, and then, of course, get them out the door. But even beyond that, when you leave your place of business, you're still a walking brand. And so, especially the longer you're in a location, people are going to get to know you within your community. You carry that brand with you, so you need to be nice to all the places that you go as well. This has gone by extremely fast. If you need more help, please don't hesitate to contact me at alexandrad.com. Send me an email. In the meantime, I wish you continued success.